Hi guys, I hope you're well and hopefully you're going to enjoy the training footage ahead. So as I discussed last week, this was my first training week with the brand new program. So just to clarify, so I'm going to be going into a muscle gaining phase from now until the end of the year. However, with that being said, I'm not looking to gain that much body weight. So in short, because I've got 8 years training experience, I'm not going to get significantly bigger. As such, my main focus is really focusing on improving strength, focusing on increasing volume over time within my gym sessions, and eating enough to recover from. So I'm about 70 kilograms at the moment. So from now up until Christmas, if I could stay within 1 to 2 kilograms of that, I'll be relatively pleased. And this is just an important note that your rate of weight gain should be subject to your training age. And if I'm honest, this is one of the errors I made in the past, is trying to be too aggressive with the energy surplus. Now, this is fine if you don't mind gaining a lot of body fat, but a lot of it was unnecessary. I was almost trying to force feed my gains, but the reality is, choose a rate of weight gain suitable for your goals. And as you get into the advanced phase of training, it's much more optimal to focus more on improving strength, volume in your gym sessions. Your weight will fluctuate to a degree, but you're more focused on eating enough to recover from, rather than giving yourself a monthly weight gain target. So in terms of how the session's been going, pretty pleased so far. If I'm honest, it hasn't been too taxing this first week, despite the fact that I'm doing a lot more sets with my big compound lifts. If you remember when I discussed the training program in detail, one of the points I mentioned was instead of using percentages of your 1 rep max, you're actually using 90% of your 1 rep max figures within the percentages. And as such, the loads I'm using now are much lighter than I could be using, but at the same time, this just allows for more progress over time. So this is important if you start doing a percentage program, to subject to your training age, potentially type in 90% of those figures, and this just allows you to start lighter, and then you've got more room for progress. Additionally, if you type in my new program, Revisited James Layton, onto YouTube, you'll be able to see that video where I discussed the session in more detail. So this was the lower body B session. So it's consisted of deadlifts, 7 sets of 3, front squats, hamstring curls, bench press, and a fly. I did an incline fly today, as well as calves, but I didn't do calves just because the gym was so busy. I couldn't really get on any calf pieces of equipment or the Smith machine I was going to use. But yeah, enjoying the program so far. Like I said, this first week somewhat lighter than potentially I could be using, but at the same time I'd rather start lighter and then progress from there. The only other thing I wanted to point out is a couple of things I want to work with my technique is my deadlift in particular. It didn't look too bad from the side angles you'll see shortly, but from I actually did a clip from behind, I can just see my hips shooting up too quickly. So one of the things I'm really focusing on is trying to drive my feet through the floor, staying tighter within my core, and focusing really on trying to keep my hips down as much as possible rather than have them shoot up too quickly. And you'll see something similar with the front squats. So it's certainly something I need to improve upon. So one thing I really want to be focused on as well is, I wouldn't say I'm particularly strong, even though I'm only 70 kilograms. I used to be a lot strong with some of my big key lifts, and partly of that is down to me now being a lot lighter than I used to, but the reality is I'm not particularly that strong. So that's why this program should be well suited to me, because we're having a lot of practice with the big key lifts. You notice we're doing a lot of sets with the deadlift, the squat, the bench press, the overhead press. So this is like a secondary goal, even though I need to be focusing on strength and volume gains to continue building muscle. It's almost like a secondary milestone. I really want to kind of progress on some of these big key lifts. So I look forward to sharing the journey over the next however months to the end of the year, and I'll look forward to speaking to you in the next video. Enjoy the training footage. Thank you.